Good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 27 of 100, and this is part 2. So let's pick up where we left off yesterday. Me under the bus number 2. In one of our brainstorming sessions, which I usually record, Dean brought up Tim's comment, which was word for word what he used to say to me. His exact words back then were, "We can both walk away anytime we want." Now, when he mentioned it, it instantly brought back memories of how deeply those exact words used to trigger me. And I thought, oh, this is so worth sharing. Because what one person sees as ultimate security, the other one can perceive it as total insecurity, which was our case. And you know what? It was one of the biggest lessons in our relationship. So this second half of day 27 is the flip side of part 1. So go watch it first if you haven't already, because this episode makes more sense with full context, especially when I wrap this up in the end later. So yesterday, towards the end of part 1, I told you how I couldn't fully reconcile the feeling of being committed while being told we can both walk away anytime we want. I mean, if either person can just leave, then that defeats the purpose of a commitment. However, from Dean's perspective, he was offering freedom and peace of mind. But to me, being committed while having one foot out the door was a total contradiction. That contrast became poison, and it felt like the single biggest threat to our stability. And I didn't realize it then, but that one statement became the root cause of almost every major fight we've had. It triggered a deep avoidant response in me because my brain internalized that he could pack up and leave at any moment with no real commitment holding us together. So whenever things got tense, I quickly escalate, and my instinct was to flee first, to threaten a breakup before he could leave me. I figured, why prolong the agony if he can just walk away anytime he wants? Might as well just break up now, right? And then start moving on. But to Dean, me bringing up a breakup felt like a weapon and an ultimatum being used against him. What he meant as a reassurance turned into the very thing that threatened our relationship because of how I process it from my own cultural standpoint. I get where he's coming from. He was simply bracing for pain so that if I do walk out, because in his mind, he wouldn't walk out, but that I could walk out. So I did get that he was bracing for that, but in my mind, like, I don't take commitment lightly. And when you get married, that's it. You are tied together, you become one, and then you go through life together till you're old and gray. I also get how so many men like Dean and Tim feel burned. Because after all, in the West, marriage has been weaponized by many. A no-fault divorce can blow up a family and a life overnight, just like that, because someone decided they were unhappy when they woke up the next day. And just like that, you're back to zero. It's one thing, I guess, if that happens when you're much younger because you have a longer runway to recover. And I know it doesn't make it any better, but it's quite another story when you are experiencing that, when someone divorces you at a much later stage in your life, and getting back up feels like an impossible endeavor at that point. So I really do understand. If I were in that situation, I can't even begin to imagine what I would do. In the Philippines, though, it is the exact opposite. It's the irresponsible men who gets off easy, and the women are the ones getting burnt. And as one viewer pointed out in part 1, he said that I pretty much got off easy with my previous marriage, and I was one of the lucky ones. And you know what? He is completely right. Honestly, if my late husband were still alive today and we merely separated, finding another partner or getting married again wouldn't even cross my mind. With no divorce here and annulment being doable only for the rich and famous, marriage for a Filipina is the ultimate risk. For most of us, it literally is till death do us part. If it works, great, you're the luckiest woman on earth. If it doesn't, well, tough luck for you. You're stuck with that decision for life, so suck it up. Yeah. Now, these two realities, Western men getting burned by the system over there, while women being trapped over here. They look completely different, but they share a similar pain. Keep that in mind when you're dating here and deciding whether to date forever or marry. In a way, Western men and Filipinas sit at both ends of the spectrum. But when two right people find each other, it works because here, marriage vows are still sacred to many, and we take through thick and thin dead seriously. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to sell you the marriage idea here. Like I said, I am not trying to change anyone's mind, and I simply want to give context on how we still view marriage here compared to societies where marriage left many men burned. Now, that said, let me just say this word of caution once again. If you ever decide to be with a Filipina, vet her character carefully because some view marriage purely as a green card or a genetic ticket, or both, and they quickly learn how Western divorce works. I talked about this in day 6 in the visa episode. If there is no genuine connection underneath the financial incentive, you are walking a very thin tightrope. At the end of the day, just bring honest terms to the table, be that an offer of marriage or a girlfriend forever arrangement. As long as both adults agree, benefit from, and hold up their end of the bargain, whether it's built on true love or practical arrangement, that is strictly between the two of you. Before I bring this home, a quick update and a couple of things worth saying. Some of you are looking for day 26. It is currently on private right now because one of the mothers of the teens I interviewed is still currently out of town, and I am waiting for her signed consent form. So once I have that, the episode will be back up, properly protected this time. And I'd rather do it right than do it fast, which, funny enough, is actually the context for today too. So Dean pointed out something that I can't really unsee because some of you panicked over 3 teenagers sharing wholesome traditional views on marriage. But the second those same girls turn 18, a man 30 or 40 years older can date them or marry them in a heartbeat. So, you're saying we'll protect a teenager from being on camera sharing her views and not from that? Think about how backward that is. And I am talking about things in general here, not just on this issue alone. So I really do thank the guys who brought it up because, yeah, it's best to follow the rules. And here's my honest take on the situation. I am genuinely impressed by those girls. Hearing teenagers say that actions speak louder than words and that they date for marriage. In a society where hookups and casual encounters are being normalized, I was so proud of them. I wanted the whole world to hear them, especially girls their age and women who never outgrew their party years, even though they're already 30. Now, yeah, I was naive about the filming rules for minors, but it sure is ironic when kids everywhere are on TikTok chasing clout with zero supervision. But yeah, rules are rules and we follow them. I just won't pretend that the absurdity of it all is lost on me. Okay, continuing on. So here's where all this comes down to. When you line up all these different perspectives, the young women who view the ring as a symbol of respect, the independent ones who don't care for it, the practical ones willing to make a trade-off, and the older ones who just want a real partner, it makes one thing very clear to me. Saying, "I'll never get married again," serves as a filter. It filters out the woman who needs real commitment to feel secure, and it filters in two types of women. One who compromise out of necessity, and another one who care more about your resources than your promises. If that is the deal that you want, that's your choice. I am simply laying out the facts so you can go in with your eyes open about who you are letting in or who you are pushing away. But if you actually want a genuine traditional partner who views you as her team captain and her forever, remember this: a good woman doesn't want you keeping your guard up. She just wants you to make up your mind. To be honest, if Dean stood firm on his ground of no marriage after 1 year of being together, we would have been long broken up by now. I actually told him that straight to his face. And that's where we will end this one. After 2 full episodes of talking through marriage and compromise, I think we've covered it all. I hope so. Next time, we're diving into a heavier topic, something this channel is actually built to address. Sex tourism in the Philippines, what's really going on, who pays the price, and deciding what kind of traveler or expat you'd want to be. Thank you for sticking with me today. Well, it got a little bit personal. I hope it helps a little bit, and I appreciate you listening. Again, to catch up on this very long conversation, check out the theme playlist that I created for you. When in doubt, you can start with either season 1 or the 100 Day Challenge. Catch you again on the next one, and wherever you are in the world, for now, come walk with me. Let me just finish that strip over there and home. All right, bye for now.